Hey, everybody. I don't care about, what happened yesterday, the day before, or things. Today is going to be a new day for me, new day for you, new day for your dreams. And I want you to have this determination, this hunger, the zest for life, because I have already had a great privilege to speak with one of my most amazing guests. I've never had anybody like this on my show. And I hope the world is ready because I have in front of me Manny Cabo, the participant of The Voice. The Voice is here in the Ilona show.
Wow. That's a lot of bravado for a bald guy in a microphone is what I always say. But thank you.
Oh
Yeah, it's an honor to be here.
Manny, you are in the house. You're going to rock it. You're going to shake it. It's going to be so great. And we cannot wait to inspire people out there. Many people don't know that you're also an author. You have just published a book that is going to be launched in May 21st, in May 30th, actually, right?
Yeah.
And talk to us about your book. I know the fact that you named your heroine the name of your daughter.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, it's a really exciting journey for me. This has been a long time coming. And essentially after this past year also, because I've been through a lot of calamity, I lost my dad to COVID, obviously, almost lost my wife to COVID. Hurricane Ida wiped away 25 years of my livelihood, every bit of equipment. Like I've had to rebuild this. This where I am right now, this is under 12 foot of water. So it has certainly been a very difficult year. Thankfully for me, I've always looked at life as a glass half full. It's the things that we focus on. It's a very binary thing for me. Either I focus on the void or I focus on the gratitude of what's left behind. So thankfully that mindset assisted me to get through a very difficult time. Of course, people along the way. And Michael was one of those integral components that have helped me launch this book and this company, Beyond Publishing. He's been a sweetheart of a guy, so knowledgeable, so respected, very approachable, had some great ideas. So I think it was time to unleash to the world an anecdote that represented who I am, my life. It's about essentially those pivotal moments in life that we feel that we're defeated or deflated. But we have to sometimes take a step back because the universe sometimes hands you a little curveball, because that was a pitcher in my life. So I'm going to use a baseball reference. The universe sometimes hands you curveballs and you think that the end result is supposed to look like a certain thing, that we want to control. But sometimes it's not like that. But if we open ourselves to receiving these gifts, they could be so much better, so much more fulfilling than we ever thought possible. So this book will certainly resonate with everyone, especially the female audience, because obviously it's from a perspective of a female. And I don't want to give too much away, but I'm very proud of it. And there will certainly be more books from Manny Cabo in the near future. But this is my first one, and I'm hoping that it does very, very well. I feel that it's going to do well. There's a very powerful and positive message behind it. And I'm a firm believer that when you put out positive energy into this world, great things happen.
I like what you said, right? If you do put the positive energy in, you believe in manifest that what's going to come to you, it will come to you.
Sure,
and,
sure.
in your life, you did have this, curveballs. You had this devastation. You had this, traumatic events that wiped over 25 years of, you building your life. And how did those moments make you a person you are today?
Well, evidently, it made me focus on the things that were truly important. It made me focus on family. It made me focus on the little things like breathing. My dad couldn't breathe during his last days on life. I wake up every day. If I could breathe, it's an incredible, incredible and gratifying feeling just for that. Not to mention, if I wake up, period, it's amazing how so many people overlook that blessing. If I wake up, okay, everything else is a bonus. I could tackle whatever it is. If we take it from that standpoint and you celebrate the little wins in life, it's pretty amazing how things start coming into this snowball effect. You're grateful for that. I'm grateful to have legs to walk to the bathroom, to brush my teeth. I'm grateful that I have people in my house. I'm grateful that I still have my mom, my daughter. these are the things that we really truly need to focus on. We need to change our dialogues, especially that inner dialogue. I have insecurities just like everybody. Sure, I'm great at what I do. I can say that. I'm a great photographer. I'm a great singer. I'm a great podcaster. But guess what? Michelangelo was an incredible painter. And his quote was, if everybody knew how many hours I invested in trying to become a decent painter, I wouldn't be called a master. So I understand that. You know, we try to make it look easy, but nobody sees the behind the scenes. Nobody sees me. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at 2, 3. Sometimes I don't even get sleep to accomplish my goals. That's what it takes. You know, the adage of it takes 10 years to make it overnight. Now, here's the thing. I'm a podcaster. I'm a musician. I'm a photographer. I'm a dad. I'm an author. Do you know how difficult that is to compartmentalize 5 different lifestyles? It takes commitment. It takes resilience. It takes learning to compartmentalize your days. That's a lot of work. Like, I'm exhausted half the time, but thankfully it's what I love to do. And I'm catching up. I've been playing rebuilding, right? That's the life that I've been leading. I've been rebuilding my life after it was washed away, but I'm still here. And with life comes possibility.
I love your passion, Manny. I love how determined and hungry you are for life. And I know there's lots of people are thinking, and they usually think, oh, lucky celebrities, they never go through, through problems, devastation, the stresses. And exactly, that's the laughter, that's the response that people usually give when they even knew what they're going through to achieve what they are. People think that they wake up famous, but it takes determination, hard work, disaster for life too. Sometimes sleepless nights, exhausting nights to even become a person they are today. So, and if you guys are thinking that they have, their ways full of the rose petals, this is the biggest mistake that you think. They are not exempt from fear, devastation, or stress, just like we do. They're just working hard to get what they want in life and follow their dreams. That you can too. Follow your dreams and go after that. But Manny, I know everybody's probably will be curious about your journey with the voice. Tell us, take us behind the scene. How did it even started, your application process, everything, all of it.
You know, it's funny. And I tell this story all the time, but every time I tell it, it becomes even more comical because I didn't want to go on those shows. I did the American Idol and I qualified, but I didn't finish it because of a lot of fabrication, the background, a lot of things that I didn't really like. I went on the X Factor, did great, walked off the set, and everyone thought I was crazy because I'm not going to fabricate anything. Okay, I'm true. This is me. You need to accept Manny for who he is. I don't want to create this backstory, right, just to get ratings. That's not what I'm about. The Voice, and I didn't even want to go on that show. So, true story. The only reason why I went on The Voice, I had friends of mine that took me there, that if I said no, they were going to kick my ass because they were outside while I was going to this audition. But one thing really, it remains at the tip of my thoughts every time I think about it, right? My buddy's like, we're here, but look right up. Look at this sign, the door, the right. I mean, seriously, it's mind boggling every time I tell this story. Right next to the door where I was taking the audition, there's a little sign that says Manny's, right? And I'm like, and Mike is like, if that's not a sign, there's a store called Manny's right next door. So I walked in. And I was the last one there. It was freezing. It was a Wednesday night in Manhattan because, I made a lot of my living in Manhattan and working as a photographer. So I was already hesitant. I'm like, dude, guys, it's freezing. Listen, there'll be another audition. They're like, no, you're doing this. And so I walked in, again, the last guy there. And usually they have you sing like 1 or 2 songs. I ended up singing 6 songs, one in Spanish, a rock song, an R&B song, a country song, so they loved my diversity. And again, I wasn't planning this. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I will give you my best effort. And I just love music. And when the producers took me to the next round, because they do a little video interview to see how you are in front of camera, they're like, dude, you were meant to be on TV. It was nothing because I didn't get nervous. I don't get nervous. Like, this is my jam. This is my comfort zone. This is my happy place, being behind the microphone and sold out stadiums. And they're like, well, why do you want to be on the show? And I said, I don't want to be on this show. I got 2 guys in the lobby there to kick my ass if I don't go through this process. And they totally loved that story. They're like, wow, it's so refreshingly truthful. Because most people that go on these shows, they're dying to get on TV. Let's face it, that's why you're there. So they loved the story, and the rest, as they say, was history. They called me, what was it, 3 months later? They sent a letter, and then they called me, a follow-up call. Then I was on the plane to California. I did a second audition, and they're like, yeah, we definitely want you in the show. That was kind of nerve-wracking because now I realize, oh, man, I'm in this thing. I'm actually, I'm a candidate. I got the potential of being on TV. Did my audition. They loved what I was all about. And they gave me a song. And it was Here I Go Again. And I was like, okay, I'll sing it. And like I said, the rest was history because I crushed that audition. I got 4 chairs. It was one of the best rock auditions in the history of the show. Till this day, they tell me. And then my next round with my buddy Keith, who I've done tons of shows, was the battle. It was one of the best battles ever because if you notice in the video, if you go watch it, we actually got a little bit got a little in trouble because we're not supposed to veer off the script, right? They give us this choreography. We have to stay on stage. We got off stage. We're not supposed to do that. And if you notice, the camera guys were going nuts following us. But we're rockers, man. The rock and roll industry, we don't follow rules. We make our own rules. And it was such a great time. But the one thing that I took away from being on The Voice was it wasn't about singing. It was never about singing. I found my true purpose and my true calling on the show, which was using this, my voice, to educate, to inspire, to empower people. Because I found myself in my hotel room with parents and their kids, like 15, 20 kids. And I was explaining to them, focus on the journey, guys. Don't focus on the 90 minutes where you're going to be on TV. You guys are already winners. We had to compete against 70,000 other singers globally. And we're here. You already won. Take that little win and savor the victory, right? And I told them, meditate, quiet your mind. Instead of focusing on just the performance, focus on the gratitude of you're surrounded by some of the best talent that you will ever experience. Focus on making those relationships. Focus on the moments where we're practicing behind the scenes, right? It's the little things. You got to learn to live in the moment. Take time to smell the roses. And it was cool. I think the one thing that really hit home, it was really emotional for me. When I got voted off the show, I had some of the production people crying. A lot of the contestants were crying when I left the show. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. What is this? They're like, you're our rock, man. Like we didn't consider you a singer or a contestant. You were our father figure. Cause I was older. I was 45 at the time. And all these kids were like 17, 18 parents. And they're like, when you leave, like there's a big part of us. I'm like, no, see, what did I teach you? You guys didn't learn what I told you. This isn't the end for me. This is one journey that ended. It's a chapter in a book. I need to close this book and I'm needed somewhere else. Guess what? All of you guys, except for one, is going to go home. So I'm teaching you how to accept what we call defeat or loss, but it's really not a loss. It's the end of your chapter. Now you need to write a new chapter somewhere else and be receptive to receiving these journeys. Therein lies the key to life and the key to success.
Wow, this was the power of Manny right there. I think your dose of inspiration. So every time somebody's feeling down, get a dose of inspiration of Manny, every single day, because, it's a fundamental truth that you were teaching them. You left your mark with every person in there. But let me ask you, who's your favorite coach or mentor?
You know what? I didn't have a favorite till this day. There's only one guy that was my favorite, anything in music. That was John Lennon. And unfortunately, we lost him too soon. But as far as coaches, they were all amazing in their own right. They all offered us a different perspective of singing. Like Blake, his comedy, his just rugged voice, his style of being, Pharrell, very peaceful, very full of love, very soft-spoken, Gwen, very fashion-oriented, boisterous, funny, happy all the time. And then you have Adam, who's just extremely talented, very well versed in his career. I think they all imparted their own specific knowledge. I just took from each and every one. And that's the difference between somebody smart and somebody just looking to get to the end game. I absorbed, in those situations, you need to learn to become like a chameleon, be like a sponge and learn as much as you can. And then keep what works and implement that into your workflow. That's all I did, and it served my purpose, and that's for sure. And it was one of the best journeys that I could have ever endured. And then I said, you know what? I had a lot of fun doing this. So guess what? The second time around, I did it for NBC/Telemundo La Voz, where I did it in Spanish, and I went through the whole rigmarole. But it was a different experience because it wasn't like, not that there was anything wrong with the voice and their procedures, but or protocol for that matter. But when I was on Levels, it was more like my family. I was hanging out with my aunts and uncles and sisters and cousins because I'm Hispanic, and we're a really loving culture. We're very big on the hugging and the kissing on the cheek and good to see you and good morning and everything. So they were both pleasant but different in their experiences. But I took it all in. It was a great moment in my life. I really have to say that I learned so much, and there was so many great takeaways from both experiences.
I can see you still passionately remember every moment
Yeah, oh
from the
yeah,
past, and you're still like
yeah,
reliving every time you share the story. And
yeah.
you took me, as you were speaking, you took me back into the stage, you took me back into those battles, you took me back into every single mentor in there, because I absolutely adore and love Adam, Adam Levine. So,
Adam.
and yes, I think he's the coolest dude ever. This is my personal, crush at him, and everybody else's
You
personality.
and like seven other billion women in the world, so you're not alone. Trust me, man. He's a good looking
I
dude, and
have a
he's tall too.
different version of crush.
I
Oh, yeah.
get
So,
it.
like, adorational one, he's so adorable, like
Yeah,
fragile,
yeah.
but absolutely in a very endearing way.
And she
So, but
smells amazing. Like every time I was near her, she smelled amazing. That was the
I
joke of the
love
show.
when women
Yeah.
smell great. And I
Right,
think
right.
and you learn a lot from every single
Yeah,
one of them. And they're humans. They're
yeah,
the same human, down to earth. Yes,
yeah.
they made them career, and they give you the part of wisdom. And you were blessed. How many people in the world get a chance to hang out, with these celebrities? The Blake, he's the full of, I know, sarcasm. I love him.
Yeah. He's such a good guy. He's so talented and so
Yes,
down. And he
yes.
loves his vodka. He loves his vodka. I give you that. Yeah.
I know that part.
Yeah, definitely.
We know, but all of them, like I said, none of the celebrities are exempt from the fear, devastation, addiction, whatever is out there in the world. They're
Yeah.
just people that have a little bit more grind to go after their dreams,
Sure.
and they have the talents that they want to share with the world. And that's the reason that they have imparted with you and say, hey, Manny, no matter what other world is going to tell you, and they're like, opinions just like the armpits. You have to follow your
Yes.
dreams.
Yes.
You have to go after that. And Manny,
That's great. That's great.
I want you to, before I ask you something very special, I want
Yes.
you to speak to one person right now who have lost the faith in themselves. What would you tell them right now?
I would tell them that's okay. Embrace that. Really feel the pain. Don't ignore it, because you can't just sweep it under the rug because it's going to creep up somewhere else. But just know, because of the book, like I was telling you before, just know that my grandmother had this one quote. She said, God will choke you, but he'll never hang you. These are little things that you're given in life to see what you're made out of. So every time you feel a hardship, embrace it, be grateful for it, because I tell you and I promise you, you're going to learn from it. So instead of taking it from a negative standpoint that you're not getting there, right? Understand that there's this beautiful solution that's going to unleash itself from it. But you have to be patient with yourself. Life is a journey, it's not a sprint. Enjoy the hustle, enjoy the hard work, because guess what? When you get to that goal, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I did it. Now what? So embrace the entire process. The best part of being successful are those difficult moments, because you learn to savor the victory that much more. So the more you fail, and I don't even like to use that word, the more hardships that you encounter, the quicker your success will come. So be grateful for those hardships, because it's trying to tell you, not this way, not yet, but you're almost there. The problem is we focus on, I need to see this. This is the way I see it. I don't want to go through the hard work process, right? And that's all they expect. But guess what? You're missing out, because you're missing the in between, that path to get to where you want to go. Just be patient. And I know, because I'm not the most patient person in the world. I learned that from my dad. Whether it's a virtue or not, technically it's not, but it's something that we really, truly need to embrace more in life. Because it takes, for me, I'm talking from the entertainment space, it takes 10 years to make it overnight. You know, that's the joke. The Beatles, my favorite band of all time. Everyone sees them #1 hits. They had the most #1 hits on the top 10, you know, selling out. They reinvented themselves 4 times. But nobody knows that before the Beatles became who they are, they spent 10 years in Europe just touring to bars and playing in high school proms, and nobody was there. Nobody talks about that, do they? They only see the stars. I want to be Ringo. I want to be Paul. I want to be George. I want to be John. Who the hell wants to be the Beatles 10 years before they blew up? Nobody, because nobody cares. They only care about you when you're already there, when you're at the zenith, the apex of the world. Nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, I use these people because everyone just sees the superstar, you know, the LeBron James. But nobody's at the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're shooting 1,000, 2,000 free throws to the point where their wrists are exhausted. Nobody sees that. Because that's the most important part. It's what you do when people are not watching that's important. So when you're alone and you're going through those hardships, don't get frustrated. Savor them like you would savor a dripping orange. Like, all right, good. This means I'm on the right path. It's showing me this is not working. And I always use the analogy of Thomas Edison, right? The inventor of the light bulb. Can you imagine telling Mr. Edison, dude, you created 1,000 ways. You failed 1,000 times. You couldn't build a light bulb. And he goes, no, I didn't. I just came up with 1,000 ways on how to not create a light bulb. Now I figured it out. Think about that it's so stupidly simple, but we always just want the solution. And it can't be that way. Because guess what? If that was the case, if I said I want $1 million and it gave it to me, I wouldn't appreciate anything. I'd spend it. It wouldn't be like nothing. And I'm telling you, everyone's like, yeah, whatever, Manny, you're crazy. I promise you, there would be no gratitude there. And you'd be miserable looking for the next gift. And you can't have that. That's not the way it works because you don't learn to appreciate anything. And you become lazier when everything is handed to you. Especially, you know, kids nowadays. This whole self-entitlement. They want everything quick and quick. There's no attention span. Could you imagine dropping a song that's 11-minute song? Society can't handle it. They see everything in 3 2-second reels. Sometimes you need that 11-minute song to understand the passion, the story, the dialogue that went into that work, the production. So I use my music analogies because that's the space that I'm comfortable with and that's what I know. But yeah, hardships are amazing. You just learn how to appreciate them. And the problem is society doesn't want to appreciate hardships. I've had plenty of them. And sometimes I have to walk away and be like, is this all worth it? Like, what the hell am I doing here? And that's okay. Because that's the ego talking. That's the ego telling you, you're doing all this work. You need money. You need to monetize everything. Sure, monetizing is great because it's a means to an end, but not the physical money itself that's going to make me happy. It's the things that I can acquire, more equipment. I can market more, a little bit more to get my message out into the world. See, it's this garbled understanding of what money really is. Money is not going to bring you happiness. It makes life a little bit easier, but it's not going to make you happy. Period. And those who want to disagree with me is fine. I respect that. But I know the reality because I've seen it, my counterparts, my own life. So, you know, I hope that serves you. And I hope that serves the people that have a really difficult time with hardships because I experienced them all year. I can't handle any more loss. But the truth is, if it does happen, I've been here before. Now I have another bullet in my belt that I can combat that loss, that hardship. I'm not inviting it into my life, but I'm prepared to deal with it. And I'm prepared to help others when they arrive at that spot. It's not fun, but I think we all need to go through it to appreciate the beauty and the value of life.
Amen to everything you have just said. And I wanted for you to have this space to share because sometimes people need to hear someone like you who will put them in a reality check because we all want money, fast money. We all want to compare ourselves with the celebrities, but we don't want to do the hard work. We want it easy way, but nothing will be appreciated if you get it easy way. Easy way doesn't work. Jeff Bezos, started his company in his basement. We all start somewhere. If you have the dream, if you have a purpose and passion, you have to work for it. Miracles don't happen. Even Jesus Jesus said, right? He did his part. He still said, the guy, get up and walk. If he wouldn't do his part, getting up and walk, the miracle would not happen.
Yeah.
So people forget that part, that we have to work. We have to work hard for our dreams to achieve them. There is no shortcuts to your success. It's just a grind and a hard work.
And one more thing, you know what? I compare miracles all the time. I compare miracles to luck. That's how I compare those two. Miracles is like luck. It was a miracle. You know, miracle for me is like the old adage, you know, it's preparation. When you prepare yourself and you're ready, the opportunities come.
Yes.
That's to me what a miracle and luck is. The problem is people want to avoid that middle gap, you know?
Exactly. Sometimes, like when people say, oh, you have a golden fish flew and jumped right into your boat, you still had to push the boat on the water for this golden fish to jump. So you still have, some people will get lucky, some people will get more faster noticed, but you still have to do your part to push your boat on the water, at least the minimum of your job. But Manny, my audience and myself will not forgive me if I didn't ask you to do one thing.
What? Talk to me. Here we go. Judging by evidence by the the crazy demeanor that's going on right now. I'm sure I know what it is.
I want you to sing the best thing that makes you happy. I want you to sing to us. Take a 30 seconds, however it takes, and sing your heart out.
Wow. Well, you know what? That's an easy response for me. I just love to sing. I really do. And again, I will stress I'm not the best singer in the world, and people may love my voice, other people can't stand it. And me, as far as I'm concerned, I just love to sing. You know, I'm sure I've cultivated my tool, but I love to sing. And I'll, tell you what, I'll even do something more. I'll exceed your expectation. I'll sing a little excerpt in English, and then I'll sing a little excerpt in Spanish. Deal?
Yes.
I'll sing one of my originals. This one's called Crazy. All right. You sure you want to hear this?
Yes. Now I want to hear it. Yes, right. Manny. Yes.
Here we go. Just a little under an hour until I hit the stage for another show. Driving on this road feels like forever, knowing that I'm gonna see you soon. That's Crazy. Then I'll sing something in Spanish. It's a song that I did on La Voz, which is a Latin anthem. It's about the island of Puerto Rico, Mi Viejo San Juan. En mi viejo San Juan, cuántos sueños forjé en mis noches de infancia. Mi primera ilusión y mis cuitas de amor son recuerdos del alma. Una tarde me fui a esa extraña nación, pues lo quiso el destino, pero mi corazón se quedó frente al mar en mi viejo San Juan. There you go.
Oh my goodness. When somebody sings in Spanish the way that you just sang, I just had the goosebumps. Manny, you are amazing.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun. I love doing that.
Yes, your dose of inspiration, your preparation, and you're a prolific speaker. You have an amazing message. You have a grind. You have a determination. You have a whole package. You are a whole package, Manny.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes, voice is, I think, it's your bonus that God had given to you that said, okay, you know what? Use them. And I want you to continue to use your voice, internal, external, as well, to speak and connect with people who are broken, who think that life is so easy, who are entitled, like you said, and they think that everything is privilege. No, work for it. America is a great country, land of opportunities where your dreams can come true.
Yeah.
Do it. Do your part. And you do your part, Manny. You are amazing. What is the last thing that you wanted to leave us with?
Just be consistent, guys. Do something that you truly love. And I learned this from Stephen Jobs. If you do something that you love, and sure, we have to have and uphold our responsibilities of paying bills, but in your spare time, do something that you're truly passionate about, because it's a gateway to your internal happiness. And you never know, these little hobbies that we start with could be our road to monetizing. But the second part of that is always embrace your fears. If your fears, right? If your dreams and your fears don't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough. But the more that you face those fears, the more that you face them, do something that you're scared every day, the more you disarm their power. And pretty soon it's like nothing, like, whatever, I've faced you before, I've been here before, bring it on, baby. That's what you want. You want that bring it on, baby attitude. And that's not going to happen if you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. We all have our fears. But the ones that really truly succeed are the ones that say, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm going to do this anyway, because I know the ROIs on this initial valiant effort will pay off for me. It's a mindset thing. That's all it is. We all go through it. Hell, I'm scared half the time. But the difference between me is, even though I'm scared, I do it anyway. What's the worst thing that could happen? It doesn't work out. I'm going to do something else. If I fall down, I get back up. If I have legs to do it, I'm going to get back up. Even those that don't have any legs, crawl. Whatever you got to do, there's no excuses. I just think of things differently. We're given this gift of life. Don't waste it, because so many people never woke up yesterday. So many people never even made it, into this world. So use it. Do something good with it. Don't make it in vain, because I would rather live in hardship and trying to overcome it than live in regret.
This is powerful. This is exactly what I believe, and I wrote my book on. If your dreams do not scare you, don't even go after them. They're just wishes. You have to embrace your fears to get you to the victory. And yes, what was worst things can happen. You will fail. It will not work out. Try something different. But at least that will be your guiding force. When somebody says you cannot do it, watch. I'm coming after it.
Yeah.
You have a fear, I'll show you what I've got.
Yeah. You got to embrace the fears and embrace the hardships and the failures. You have to. If you learn to love the process, if you learn to fall in love with the grind, if you learn to accept hardships as learning experiences, watch your verbiage, watch how you say things to yourself. It's that inner dialogue. They're not hardships.
Yes.
They're options. They're just little obstacle courses.
It's a process to shape you, the person you are, your characters, your, who you are and such. But Manny, we want to also, I'm going to put your information about the book that is coming out. And I want to encourage every single one of you to buy it, grab it, use it. And he has a great endorsement from all of the coaches. He has a great story in there that will motivate you, inspire and aspire you in life to get up and go. He will be holding your hand. He'll be carrying you through, and he will be motivating you to do and accomplish your dreams. Every single day, dose of inspiration, that's all you need. And his voice will be right there with all of us and will be guiding us every single day. Manny, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor to be here. Thank you, Ilona. Or, you know what? Ilona. I don't know how to say it. I say it like it's
Say it in
Hispanic,
Italian. Say it in Italian.
Ilona.
Oh my God.
La bella ragazza.
La bella ragazza. Yes, I'm all that. Tiramisu and Ilona. That's the best combination in one sentence.
There you go.
So we want to wish you all the best and success in your book, in your interview. We will be praying for you, how, that God will use your determination, your pitfalls, your fails, your stresses to shape you to somebody that God sees you already in the finish line. It's hard for you, but he has door. And like I said, everybody, if there is no door in the wall, build it. And that's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You're building the doors in every wall, and you're unapologetically doing that. Your fears, even though you have a fear, and that guides you to do and go and conquer it. And I love that about you, Manny. I'm so glad we got connected.
Yeah, you and me as well. And there's a couple other things. Anything that people want to find out about me, just go to my website, mannycabo.com, and there's a podcast. I'm in the top 1% best podcast. So please rate it, review it. I have my own cryptocurrency coin now, the Mojo coin. So that's unleashed on the Solana blockchain. I'm really excited about that. It's about these moments, you know, these pivotal moments in time, providing that mojo to help us get over those hurdles. So yeah, it's been an honor being on your show. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Totally appreciate you.
Your information, by the way, will be all in the feeds. So like people will be able to connect you, follow you, you know, rate you. And my goal is to make, you know, I love my guests, and they don't understand, but I love bragging about them. So you have nothing for me to brag, because
brag away, brag away.
But
brag
trust
away,
me,
right?
I will be all over.
Thank
Manny,
you so
in a
much.
house. So God bless you, Manny. It was such an honor and privilege to spend time with you, and go sing your heart away, and
appreciate it.
You know, inspire more people out there.
Always, always. That's the name of the game, right?